Welcome to the From Battle to Business podcast. In this podcast, business coach and fellow veteran Dean Van Dyke will bridge the gap between service and civilian life, helping guide veteran business owners to supercharge their business and unlock hidden profits. You wouldn't go into battle alone, and now you don't have to in business. Let's get to it.
Well, welcome, Brandon, and thank you for being on From Battle to Business. How's your day going?
My pleasure, Dean. I'm blessed beyond belief, brother.
Now, that we are. So in 60 seconds or less, tell us who Brandon is.
Oh boy. Okay. Married 25 years, father of 3 amazing kids. I run HOA.com. We're just launching the Christian Business Alliance. I'm also the chairman of Champion Dentists, which is a dental consulting company. But I spend most of my time with HOA.com, where we're creating kind of a next door meets Angie's List meets Zillow, a real estate ecosystem and really a referral network for professionals who serve homeowners.
Wow. I just had one of those, well, not from HOA.com, but I just had a appliance tech in yesterday, and he gave me some bad news. So that wasn't a good thing. But so right after this, I get to go find me an appliance, unfortunately. So
happens.
You know, I was on your website and I saw the king of referrals, and I'm like, wow, that's interesting. So tell us a little bit more about being the king of referrals.
Yeah, well, first of all, I didn't name myself that, so I'm into and in favor of shameless self-promotion, but I didn't appoint myself that. Somebody featured me on a magazine cover, and that's what they claimed. But yeah, you know,
Nice.
I got started out in the mortgage business back in 1997. I was a single dad, and I was making $20,000 a year at the time. And once I got custody of my son, I couldn't pay my mortgage and my daycare bill. And I found that out because my mortgage company kept sending me checks back with 3 little letters that said NSF, insufficient funds. And so I had to do something different, got in the mortgage business, and I had somebody mentor me in the art and science of what I call raving referrals. And I was able to 10x my income from $20,000 to $200,000 a year within 18 months. So ever since then, I spent 12 years in the mortgage business. I've been on a mission to help as many people as possible create the lifestyle and the financial freedom they desire and deserve through partnerships and raving referrals.
Wow, that's amazing. 10x from 20 to 200. That's amazing. So referrals are always, or can be, somewhat of a struggle for, you know, folks to ask for. But you know, one of the things I read about you is mastering that art of the ask. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, you know, there's 10 referral best practices. And if you go to referralscorequiz.com, you can take a 2-minute assessment, and it'll help you understand where you rate on those 10 referral best practices. Well, one of them is how frequently and consistently are you asking for referrals? Because we hear this all the time from people that are like, I just don't feel comfortable asking for referrals. And so with the art of the ask, we help you frame referrals in a way that's comfortable for you and comfortable for your clients. And there's basically 3 steps. The first step is setting the stage. The second step is listening for the referral triggers. And then the third step is to ASK to GET. So let's unpack those. So first of all, setting the stage. When you're meeting with a new client, they've decided to work with you. Before you let them out of that first client meeting, what you want to do is say to them, you know, before I let you go, I just have a favor to ask you. You know, I work primarily by referral. And once I have proven myself to you, because I'm totally committed to over-delivering and really impressing you with the service that we deliver. Once I've done that, would it be okay if I ask you for referrals at a later date? Now, Dean, in that case, if I'm asking that of you, have I put you on the spot? Have I made you feel uncomfortable?
Not at all.
No, what I've really done is I said, Dean, I'm going to deliver. I'm going to go above and beyond to make sure that you're thrilled. And when I do that, would it be okay to ask in the future? That's called setting the stage. Everybody's comfortable with that. You should feel comfortable because you're not asking them for anything. You're really telling them, look, I'm going to do a great job and you're going to love the services I provide, which everybody in business should be doing that. If you're not setting out with that sort of mindset and spirit and commitment, then you're missing the boat. But that's step 1, setting the stage. Step 2 is listening for the referral triggers. And that sounds something like, Oh, Dean, man, thank you so much. I love what you do. You help me make money, save money. You help me look better, feel better. Whatever that service deliverable is that you provide, you're listening for that referral trigger. And once you hear it, that's when it's time to ASK to GET. Now, if you don't hear it, you want to ask them questions like, hey, Dean, I just wanted to check in with you and see how you're feeling about the service I provide. On a scale of 1 to 10, how thrilled are you with the service that I'm delivering to you? Now, they say an 8, a 9, or 10, then number one, anything less than 10, you said, what would make it a 10, right? But if it's an 8, 9, or 10, then it's okay then to ask. I'm so glad to hear that. Dean, I love helping people like you get these results. And I'm growing my business right now. So do you know any other, and be specific about the types of clients, your perfect prospects you're looking to attract. Do you know other business owners, homeowners, business coaches, accountants, whatever that is, that I might be able to deliver the same kind of results that I've delivered here for you? So when you set the stage, you listen for the referral triggers, and then you ASK to GET, everybody's comfortable, and it'll help you grow your business.
Wow. So I think that first step is really key, because if you think about, you're setting the stage, but you're not asking for anything. You're committing to doing an excellent job, which you, like you said, should be doing anyways. And you're really not putting them on the spot to do anything at that point, other than to expect the type of service that you should be bringing to the table. So that's an interesting approach, because I've asked for referrals, but not using that type of system. And
try it, you'll love it. I'm telling
well,
you.
I can't imagine setting the stage like that. And when I add another client, I'm going to set the stage and then, listen for those triggers, because I think you're not setting an expectation by just saying, hey, I'm going to deliver, rock star, excellent customers, whatever that may be. Right. And if possible, would it be all right to ask for referrals? And I mean, people want to help people for the most part.
You got it.
I mean, for the most part, I've run into folks, having been in law enforcement, that they don't want to help people in the way they should. But I just think that process you just defined, no wonder you can make raving fans. And because you mentioned the Christian Business Alliance, you said it's within that, you mentioned BNI as well. And I was actually at a networking event yesterday. So it's interesting, because within those types of groups, that's, you're setting that stage for a referral. And I think that is, but one of the things, so when the alliance that you're forming, tell us a little bit more about that. I'm intrigued to hear about that.
Well, one first point is that when you set the stage, you're really planting seeds for the future. And often what you'll find, Dean, is people will give you referrals right then. Now that you mention it, I've got a brother, sister, client, coworker that could use your services now. So that's the beauty of that. Now, let's talk about referral alliances, because that's really what we call referral partnerships. And we teach it in the Raving Referral System. We teach a referral partner blueprint, where you can actually print off a one sheet and then meet with a referral partner and look at all the 21 top co-marketing campaigns. Because what we find, Dean, is that a lot of people go to these networking events and they meet people and they have coffee, and then no one takes any action and no results get created. So we teach something that we call the referral partner blueprint. And basically what it is you walk out of that meeting with an actual plan of action that says, hey, Dean, you know what? I'm going to invite you onto my podcast. I'm going to give you a testimonial or rating and review. There's 21 different ways. I'd love to have you as a guest on my webinar, right? I'd love to feature you in a blog article, all these different ways. And most of them cost you nothing.
Sure.
And the beauty is, when you build your team, my mentor, Mark Victor Hansen, taught me 1 + 1 = 11. Most people are out there like a lone wolf or a lone ranger trying to build their business by themselves, and they don't really think about all of the other professionals that are serving their perfect prospects every single day. So
Right.
what we teach is, how do you partner with the other people that are serving? Like in your case, you do a lot of business coaching and consulting.
I do.
Yeah. So who are your best referral partners?
Typically it's going to be somebody that, whether it's a financial planner, whether it's a business attorney or an accountant, bookkeeper, people that are already working with a business owner and understand, okay, yesterday, I'll give you an example at the networking event I was at. The person that runs that group had a conversation with her earlier in the morning, and she's like, we have a new member coming in. I've learned a lot about his business, and oh, by the way, he's mentioned he's got cash flow issues. I'm like, and she knew that was my trigger. I'll call it a trigger.
All right.
And so immediately, I was running late to a date with my bride. So I was trying to get out of that networking event and stopped and had a conversation with the gentleman and just said, hey, these are some of the things, because he goes, I'm having a conversation with my accountant. I said, well, great. Let him know. Ask him if they're going to do a ratio analysis on your P&L. And he's like, what? I said, just ask him the question. If they don't do it, just send me your P&L and I'll do it. I mean, it doesn't take me long to do it at all. And so it's listening for those triggers, because you need to educate people when you want them to refer to you. At least that's one of the things I learned through BNI is educate folks about who you're looking for, like you said earlier. So
yeah, it's really huge. And actually creating an alliance. One of the things that we find is that people might even have one-on-ones with other pros, but what they don't do is formalize their referral partnerships. And if you don't have an agreement with, in your case, a CPA, a financial advisor, maybe a business broker, a business attorney, people that are respected, trusted advisors from business owners. And guess what? They're going to those professionals seeking counsel, asking for help, bringing their problems. And what you want to do is you want to present yourself as the solution that they can give to their clients. And when they do that, what's amazing is in the B2B world, 83% of B2B sales start with a referral. So if you sell to business owners, you want to be referred. And a referred client, a referred prospect is 400% more likely to hire you when they're referred to you. And overall, they're 16% more profitable than somebody that finds you through an ad, because they trust you more right from the beginning. Now, you asked what we're doing at the Christian Business Alliance, and quite frankly, we do this both at HOA.com and at thecba.org, which is the Christian Business Alliance that we're launching on the 25th. We teach people it's great to join a networking group. It's even better to start your own. So what we do as part of our referral network at HOA.com is we create a monthly alliance agenda. For most people, a weekly networking event or business referral group is too much. It feels like a job. So we say, what if you started your own and you only met once a month? You invite your top trusted pros, the people you want to build your business with, and you create that formal referral agreement where a referral for one can be a referral for each, everybody in the group. And then what we do is we actually create an agenda. And instead of a leads group, a bunch of people giving commercials, it's much more of a mastermind style where every month there is a teaching point, and the alliance leader literally can print this off and take it and read it if they want. Mostly it just gives them the comfort of knowing what to say. So they teach typically out of the Raving Referrals book, and then we give them about 10 questions to ask to stimulate a conversation, so that they're helping everyone build deep relationships faster and learn from each other. And when you do that, you're the star because you're holding the microphone, you're the leader, everybody looks to you, and you can connect other people, which adds value to everyone.
Wow, that's amazing. So really, when you think about growing your business, you've got, there's many ways to do it, but I think one of the most economical ways to do it, and I think you touched on this a little bit, is, how can you go get those leads that are 8 out of 10 times going to do business with you. So I know we've kind of talked about the process, but how do you not spend money to grow your business?
Yeah, I mean, I think you spend very little. You're still spending
Or-
money. Like I take people out to coffee or to lunch. And to me, is that an investment in my business? Well, I'm writing it off as a business expense. So there's some expense there, but very
Sure.
little. You don't have to spend a lot in advertising because advertising typically has a very low conversion rate. So for most of the people that we serve are professionals, right? They provide professional services. And when you're building referral partnerships and you've got people promoting you to their clients, then you get that business without much expense. At HOA.com, we've actually created an automated co-marketing engine. So what happens is when people create their profile on our referral network, we vet them and make sure that they're a 4 or 5-star rated professional. We don't just let anybody in.
Sure.
But then once they create their profile, they invite their trusted team. And then what we do is we send out a home safe report every month. This is the part I said is Nextdoor meets Angeles List meets Zillow. This is the Zillow component because every month what happens is you send out a home valuation report to every homeowner in your database that lets them know if the value's gone up or down over the last month. It's got the Angie's List component, all of the trusted partners. So the people that you recommend, they get incorporated into that. And it also has events, what's going on in my neighborhood. And so it adds a lot of value. It keeps you top of mind. And the beauty is once you set it, you can forget it. It just goes out every month to your database and it's super easy to do.
Wow, that's amazing. So I've got a question for you. What is your kryptonite?
Ooh, my kryptonite has been follow-up. Honestly, I mean, that's why we've had to build these systems, Dean, because I have great conversations like this with guys like you that are doing really good work out there. And the follow-up and the follow-through is really key. We call it follow-up failure. This is where a lot of people miss the mark. So, I've honestly had to build software technology to be able to fix that and make sure that when we have conversations, like I have a team and they're going to, when you do this podcast, they're going to broadcast it and they'll promote it for you to help, you get more of a following because you're doing the same. This is an example of a referral partnership. So the follow-up failure, like I have so many amazing conversations on a daily basis, but it's making sure that all of those people get into a system so that we can continually build the relationship over time.
Yeah, and you're not the only one that struggles with that. So I've been on that struggle bus before and have had to automate some things to where that follow-up happens.
Yeah.
So I think that is, in fact, I read a study a long time ago when I was launching my business that follow-up or lack thereof follow-up is really what costs business owners just tons of business. I mean,
think about the home service pros. Okay. We give this example all the time. You hire a painter, a plumber, an electrician. They come and they take care of your need. They fix whatever problem you've got. And then they go in ghost mode. 9 times out of 10, you never hear from them again. And then sometimes you need a painter, a plumber, an electrician. You're like, gosh, who was that guy? And how do I find his information? So one of the things that we're building, and this isn't built yet on the HOA.com platform, is we're building not only the trusted team profile, we've got that built for the pros, so they've got their referral partners. We're building this into the homeowner profile. So instead of Angie's List, it's Dean's List. So that you'll have one place with all of your trusted providers. So if somebody asks you, hey, who do you recommend for? You'll be able to give them your HOA.com profile and share with them exactly who you recommend.
wow, now that you mention it, I thanked that person for coming out yesterday.
Yeah.
I never got a response.
Right.
I mean, it was just, it's one of the things where you think, okay, and I wasn't expecting a response or anything, but now that you mentioned it, I was like, because you're right. Because I would like, if I ever need an appliance technician again, I would hire this person because they were honest. They showed me exactly what was wrong. They said, hey, I can fix this for you, but it's really not worth it based on the value of the appliance.
Right.
And and so it's, yeah, so I love that
Did they
idea.
leave any kind of referral card behind?
They did not.
No. See, this is one of the other things that's missing: referral rewards, and also automating the ask, building into your system, into your invoicing, your receipts, your emails, your appointment schedule confirmation. The greatest gift you can give me is a referral, right? We
Right.
love referrals. Just incorporating that language into your automated communication will increase your business. But people don't think about it because most people are trained technicians. They're great at what they do, but they haven't necessarily been trained in marketing. So that's part of the gap that we fix.
And that is a big gap, because there's not a lot of systems out there that will, immediately follow up. Like today, actually, I had another. I won't tell you the entire story, but we were sitting on our front step having coffee one morning, and I saw something run across the step, and I'm like, that's not a good thing. So had pest control come out yesterday, and and they did a great job. They went through the house and the crawl space and everything. And today they did follow up with me. So it's kind of a different example, but they did follow up with a text and say, hey, we want to be the best at what we do, and if you agree with that, would you please go give us a rating? Now I'm typically one that probably going to take me one or 2 or 3 times before I'm going to actually go public with your rating.
Sure.
But it was, but they followed up. I mean, I remember that text coming in, and then when you mentioned how you're going to have your trusted pros in HOA.com, and then I remembered, I was followed up with one, but the other one, who I would refer. I mean, I would refer that appliance technician to anyone that asked, because first of all, when he took it apart, he immediately, he said, "Oh my." When I heard "oh my," I knew something was wrong.
Right.
And so it's interesting. I just love what I'm hearing, because you're right. There's an art to that follow-up and the referral program.
Yeah, and a rating and review request is a great way to follow up, because again, what it communicates is I care to find out how we're doing, right? And if they've done a great job for you, then you either will refer them or you won't. But even if you ignore it, it's a touch point, and it's a touch point showing that they care. And if you're a business owner or in sales, you've got to engineer automated touch points into your sales workflow so that communication is happening, hopefully on autopilot. Right?
Nope,
And they should
absolutely
be
agree.
asking you for a referral. Hopefully you love the service that we provide. And by the way, if you have any friends, family, coworkers that need pest control, here's a $25 gift certificate on us. Now, what does it cost them to do that? Nothing. But it gives you a gift to give to others. And we recommend that you give it in a gift certificate or a gift form. I collect all kinds of different, little tools, and we actually build these, but, refer a friend and you'll get a reward. They'll get $25 off and you'll get $25 as a reward. So engineer that into your business cycle and you'll watch your business grow.
Well, I love that. So you guys are doing some amazing things at HOA.com. So, I mean, I love the follow-up, the process. Previous life, I was a process geek, Lean Six Sigma black belt. So I love what I'm hearing. And, but I'm going to shift a little bit into the speed round. And these are some pretty tough questions. So,
Fire away.
What are 3 books you'd recommend and why?
Right now, I'm reading a book called Beyond. Thank You for Your Service. And, I want to give you a shout out. Obviously, you served in our military for, I think you said 16 years. Is that right?
14, close.
14 years. Okay. So, we all say thank you for your service. And this book is really about how do we go beyond that and really become champions for veterans. So that's one of the books that I'd recommend. I'm reading a book right now called Elevate Your Influence by Renee Rodriguez. That's a great book. The number one book that's made the biggest impact for me has been Cracking the Millionaire Code by Mark Victor Hansen. Now, full disclosure, that book helped me get into a relationship with him. I hired him to speak, and he's been my mentor for the last 19 years. I've spoken with him each of the last 3 days. So that book changed my life. Cracking the Millionaire Code. It's brilliant. Sorry. The 1 Minute Millionaire. He featured me in Cracking the Millionaire Code, which is why I was thinking that. The 1 Minute Millionaire is the predecessor to Cracking the Millionaire Code. That book, they're both brilliant, but the 1 Minute Millionaire will impact the most people.
I'll have to check that book out. Sounds like a great book.
It's 2 books in one. The left side is the step-by-step and the right side is a fictional fable, and they go hand in hand, and it's beyond brilliant.
Wow, that's an amazing way to write the book. I love that. I mean, I've never heard of a book, wrote like that before. I mean,
I've never seen it before or said it's genius.
No, that is genius. Wow. So what are your 3 favorite movies and why?
Oh, I just watched Sound of Freedom, which blew me away. I had the opportunity to hear Jim Caviezel live and to meet Tim Ballard about 6 months ago at a charity event here in Scottsdale. So I got to give Sound of Freedom a shout out, because for those that don't know, you need to know. Now, from a fictional side, I thought The Matrix was a game changer for me. I saw it 3 times in the theater when it came out. So that one has, I am Neo. I see myself as they recognize the power of the mind. And I believe that we control our reality to a certain extent. So that one makes a big difference. What would be a third? I'm blanking at the moment, but those are the 2 that come top of mind at the moment. So let's go with those 2.
That's perfect. That's perfect. So as we're wrapping up, where can my audience go to learn more about you?
Yeah. So about me personally, you can go to brandonbarnum.com and you'll see kind of links to the referral score quiz, to HOA.com, to Champion Dentists, raving referrals. Yeah, there's even a calendar link. So that's got kind of all my links, my LinkedIn profiles on there. Not bookingbrandon.com. That's there too, but brandonbarnum.com will have everything that you need to know.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Brandon, for joining us today and from Battle to Business. And we wish you all the best, especially with your launch on the 25th. So congratulations to you on that. And I will be doing a little bit more research and learning more about that. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Dean. I'd say if there's any Christian business leaders or owners, come check out thecba.org. CBA stands for Christian Business Alliance. And what we're launching is a Christian BNI, but it's beyond that. We're taking, really, it's a charity. Our goal is to keep expenses at or below 10% so that we can give away 90% of the membership revenue that we take in. And the model is to actually pay out the chapter leaders 50% of the revenue from their chapters, so that we can create a financial engine for pastors, missionaries, and those that want to lead a kingdom commerce alliance. And so it's going to be awesome. And we'd love you to check it out at thecba.org.
Wow, that's amazing. I wish you the best on that. I'll add that to my prayer list.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
You bet.
Thanks for listening. In order to help others, please subscribe and share this show up with other veteran business owners in your network. If you want specific guidance, feel free to book a complimentary call with Dean at deanvandyke.com. Remember, you wouldn't go into battle alone, and now you don't have to in business.